Huh? I'll take it after prayer. It's okay. Thank you. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الخلق والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد. I'm going to bring this from in regard to Al-Ghadir, just so I don't forget, because I'm going to forget it. I hope that's the right one. From Al-Ghadir, just it's a narrated a sheikh talking to another sheikh. A sheikh that is a Sunni started looking into the Shia thing and started by discovering what Al-Ghadir is, started researching about it, talking to another sheikh, Sunni, that just does not believe with it. Just so you know where this started. So it's a nice story to relate and how he's given them different proofs and stuff. So this one sheikh saying, I received this from a mu'min in regard to Al-Ghadir. So Mullah Muhammad Sharif Zahidi writes in one section of his book. This guy has written some books. In his books, he said, I used to discuss with my teachers and the meaning of the Prophet's statement in the Hadith of Al-Ghadir. So he used to discuss it. He's sheikh, but he's still, continuing study. So he's talking to the alim that teaching him. This is not a Shia sheikh, of course. So he's discussing it with his teacher. He said, for whomever I'm his Mawla, this is Ali, is his Mawla. They all insisted that it meant nothing more than love and affection to Imam Ali. All his teachers told him this is just love and affection to Imam Ali. He says, I was debating one of them based on a well-known book among them. A very well-known book. He's debating one of his teachers about it. He said, and it's authored by one of their prominent scholars. After the intense discussion, I was unable to convince my opponent that the Prophet's statement was not intended merely to convey love and affection for Imam Ali. Likewise, he was not able to shake my conviction. This guy is Sunni, but he's convinced it does not mean just love. It has a lot more. It means wilaya. It means a lot more than that. So he wasn't able to convince his teacher of that, nor the teacher was able to shake his belief that there's something more in that. Then when we closed the book, I was puzzled. How could I convince them that their interpretation of the word Mawla was incorrect? So this guy taking it upon himself that there's something big here and I need to let these people know, to save them, so they know that this is not just love and affection for Imam Ali. He's bothered by the fact that he couldn't convince them. How can he find a way to convince them? He said, suddenly my eyes fell upon the name of the book's author, the author of that book that they're discussing. He said, immediately, while we were still sitting together and before we had separated, I called several of our senior scholars. This is senior scholar teaching alim how to be alim. And asked them about the meaning of the title used for that scholar, who was one of their greatest authorities. Every one of them replied, he said, it meant our Imam. So the title of that author of that book, of their book, they put a title for the author, for the alim in their sect. And this guy noticed the book that they were discussing in front of him. He noticed the name of the alim and the title. So he called a bunch of their scholars, asking, what does it mean? What does that title mean? Does it mean just love for this guy, or do we care for him, or we just respect? They all of them told him no. It means that this person is our Imam, our leader. I then asked, does it not mean our beloved? They denied that interpretation. The title of that book, the title of that sheikh that wrote that book. One day, sometime later, one day a friend of mine, friend of his, from my days studying at the Institute of Islamic Studies, called me. He wanted to visit me and discuss matters with me after hearing about my new theological conviction. Now the word spread out. This guy looked like we're going to lose him. He's going to go the other way. He's going to go to those guys. He's going to believe in Imamiyya and all that. So this guy's concerned about him, concerned about that he's not going to go to heaven if he switches. So he wants to advise him. He wants to, make him better, convince him, talk to him. He called him and said, I want to come see you. So he's just concerned about his friend that from the study days in the Islamic school. He was just concerned for my eternal fate. He left his town and traveled 250 kilometers for that purpose, just to discuss the matter at length in person. And our conversation also centered on the meaning of wilaya and mawla. They sat down, what does it mean? Mawla and wilaya. They're going at it. Whenever I presented him with a Quranic, narrational, or rational evidence, he remained unconvinced. Eventually, he left feeling sorry for my condition. Because, of course, we're going to hell, as they think. We're not going to heaven. So, more than an hour after he had departed, I called him and said, so-and-so, you must come back immediately. I need you for something extremely urgent. He replied, may Allah forgive you. Allah samhak. Something like that. You say, oh my God, Allah samhak. I was just there. What are you talking about? He said, no, I just come back. I need you for something urgent. So he said, Allah samhak, samahak Allah. I have already traveled more than half the distance home, and my family is waiting for me, yet you wanted me to return. Tell me, what is it over the phone? This is long distance. Why don't we come back so you can, I was just there for a few hours with you. He said, this person said that this is not possible. You must come back. You must come in person. After I insisted, he reluctantly returned. When he arrived, he said, all right. Imagine somebody with that scenario, staff at your day, say, okay, go ahead, tell me what you need. This is ridiculous. He said, all right, what is it? What is this urgent matter for which you brought me back from such a long distance at such an inconvenient time? So this person talking by himself, he said, I only wanted to tell you that I love you and I care for you. That's all. You know what he's saying? I just want to tell you I love you and I care for you. This man was stunned and became very angry. He said, either you are crazy or you are trying to torment me. What kind of foolish behavior is this? From a sheikh, What kind of foolish behavior is this? At that moment, I seized the opportunity and said, I brought back just one person. All I did is tell a person from that distance to come back. And you accuse me of madness or causing harm to you. Yet, the Prophet of mercy gathered tens of thousands of people after they had traveled long distance in Hajj and endured difficult conditions merely to tell them that he loved Ali alayhi salam. He said, do you not see that the Muslims who endured all that hardship might have questioned the wisdom of the Prophet when he done that? Don't you see? They would have questioned. Say, what kind of prophet is that? Bring thousands, tens of thousands of us all the way in the middle of the desert and this heat, in the middle of nowhere, brings these tens of thousands, bring tens of thousands of people, come back, tell them, hey, if you love me, you gotta love Imam Ali. He said they would have questioned his prophethood. Is that, if that had been the sole purpose of this. At this point, my friend was astonished and fell silent. Couldn't reply to him. What is he going to say? He shocked him with that. Something so simple, he shocked him with it. His anger turned into a fit of unnecessary laughter as he realized how insisting upon that interpretation could indeed appear absurd and contrary to the reasons. This person had proved to his friend that This is impossible, just from a small, tiny example, something he pulled on him, and that it's just impossible to say that just mean, if you like me, like Imam Ali. Imam Ali is my friend. Everybody knows he loves Imam Ali. Everybody knows. All the Sahaba know. So the talk is tens of thousands of people were there. Tens of thousands, not 10,000, tens of thousands. This guy pulled this on his friend to convince him. It seemed like in the end this friend still insisted on what he's at, but he pulled the pro. This is hujjah. This is what we call in Arabic hujjah. On Day of Judgment, that sheikh is going to have, Allah's going to ask, it's going to have hujjah on you. He gave you the best example. Why would you not believe in that wilayah? Why would you not believe? Wilayah means a lot more than that. So with that, I thought it's interesting how he showed it. This is something easily any of us could pull on somebody. So we just would say, alhamdulillah, that we're among those who hold firmly on the wilayah of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wassalam. This person is named Marwan Khulaifat. وصلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
On the wilayah of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, on the wilayah of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, the Shaykh al-Kulaini, in a trusted and authentic chain of hadith from Abi Ja'far alayhi salam, that he's describing, Al-Kulaini describing that Abu Ja'far alayhi salam was describing the meaning of wilayah. And he said, أمر الله عز وجل رسوله بولاية علي وأنزل عليه. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded the Prophet regarding the wilayah of Imam Ali and revealed to him, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, إنما وليكم الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة وهم راكعون. We all know the ayah. So it's, our guardian is only Allah, His Messenger, and those who believe, those who establish a prayer and give alms while bowing in prayer. We all know the area, Sunni Shia, everybody know that ayah and discuss, and everybody know this is absolutely, it's Imam Ali alayhi salam. Here, so, and then he made obligatory the guardianship of those vested with authority, the wilayah, but the people did not know what it meant. At the time, some people said, okay, either they didn't believe what it meant or they just don't want to submit that that's what it meant. Here, so Allah commanded the Prophet ﷺ to explain the guardianship to them, just as he had explained to them the prayer, the almsgiving, the fasting, and the pilgrimage. Everything was explained step by step at a different time. Everything came in throughout. That's how the religion was gathered, everything all together. So it was all step by step. The Prophet was explaining them. So when the command came to the prophets from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and felt distressed by it and feared that the people might turn away from their religion or reject his words. The Prophet knew what's going on. The Prophet knew the scenario. The Prophet knew the situation and what's going on. And he knew he's going to have to end up eventually do that. But the reason these things happen, not like the Prophet didn't want to do it. These things are warning to us, warning for the followers later. Not like the Prophet was scared to announce that Imam Ali is the wilayah. He was worried that some of them will turn back, but still he will do it. But this is an evidence to us that this was a must, that wilayah was a must. So he's afraid that some will turn away from the religion or reject his words. His heart became burdened, and he turned back to his Lord. to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then after that, فَأَوْحَى اللَّهُ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ إِلَيْهِ. Allah have revealed unto him, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الرسول بلغ ما أنزل إليك من ربك وإن لم تفعل فما بلغت رسالته والله يعصمك من الناس. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed on him, O messenger, convey what has been sent down to you from your Lord, and if you do not, then you have not conveyed his message, and Allah will protect you from the people. We all know the story, we all know this ayah, we all went over it, but to think about it a little bit deeper, that this message is for us. This message is for when the Prophet passed away. This is last Hujjah. He talked about it. He said, you know, my time is near. I'm going to get that call and I'm going to answer that. I'm going to go. So he has to deliver these things and make sure everyone knows about it. So these things are for us. These are things for people that follow later on. Whoever don't follow the wilayah, imagine those that were present at the time and still turned on it once the Prophet died. Then they turned on him. So these messages are for us, for everybody that they're on that. When Allah is telling them, He's saying, أَيُّهَا الرَّسُولُ بَلِّغْ مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ. Deliver that message. And if you don't, it's like you have not delivered your message. So this is the Prophet with his age, till he became 40 when revelation came down on him. 23 years of delivering the message. 23 years of delivering all of that the Prophet has done. So it's not something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will talk to the messengers that way. Allah doesn't talk to Rasulullah, say, if you don't, it's like you didn't do that. This is for us. That message is for us, not for the Prophet. So he's saying, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So it's not like we take it as saying, oh, the Prophet was scared, he doesn't want to do it, and then Allah ordered him, commanded him, you must do it. No, it's not that. The Prophet knows. This is Prophet Muhammad, the Sayyid al-Khalq, the best of creation. All of that there, he knows. But this is for us to know, for all the generation to come after the Prophet has gone away. They need to know, look at what Allah's command. This is a command. Allah's given that order. This is something you must do. So he openly proclaimed the command of Allah, glorified and exalted be his remembrance, and established the guardianship of Imam Ali alayhi salam on the day of Ghadir Khum. He then called everybody, gather for prayer, and instructed the people that those present should convey the message to those who were absent. So this is another order from the Prophet. If you're here, you know anybody that wasn't here, deliver that message because you're a witness. This is where the importance of that day. All these witnesses must deliver that message to whoever it wasn't present to show it. You know what? I've seen that. I heard that and I saw it myself. He's a witness. And you know, the narration, the sunnah was all from witness, from hadith, from one person to another, narration. And then those are the vindicated narration. Those are the things. This is Ghadir Khum. They must tell. See, not only Allah ordered the Rasul, deliver the message. Rasul ordered the people. If you're here, tell whoever that's not here. Let them know about what took place today. And then a person named Umar bin Udayna said, they all narrated it except Abu Jarud, that Abu Ja'far alayhi salam also said, Abu Ja'far has said that one obligation will be revealed after another. So wherever in Islam, Allah taught them, like we talked earlier, Allah taught them fasting, Hajj, Salat, all the details of our Islamic duty. Allah taught them, Rasulullah taught them all that step by step. One thing added came in, one obligation after another, they were coming in. This person is saying that obligation was coming down on us, one obligation after another. The Rasul delivering the message and teaching them what to do, one obligation after another. He's saying they were coming back to back. They were all the time they're coming that way. He said, one after another. And then the wilaya was the last of those obligations. This is where it's important. The wilaya was the final obligation for Muslim. It's an obligation. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed, today I have perfected for you, I have perfected your religion and completed my favor on you. Here Abu Ja'far continue and he said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I shall not impose upon you any obligation after this one. Because when Allah say, Al-yawmu akmaltu lakum dinakum, that means done. That religion is done. Case closed, or book closed, whatever you want to call it, it's done. That chapter is done. Al-yawmu akmaltu lakum dinakum, this is the final. So there's not going to be any obligation after that. This was the last obligation. And he is attesting, he's saying, I was a witness that this what happened. He said, لا أنزل عليكم بعد هذه فريضة قد أكملت لكم الفرائض. I shall not impose upon you any obligation after this one. I have completed the obligations for you. These, as they came one after another, it's a message to everybody. And then when the Rasul say, اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم, done. There's nothing after this. With this, that's how the religion is complete. Without this, it was not complete. Nothing has been ever said other around this or other than that before it. When the Prophet said that, that was it. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم, done. That chapter, that message, this is complete for everybody. There's nothing missing in it. Take it how it is. And the ayah before that we mentioned, it was an obligation, it was a command. This wilaya is a command. You must follow that wilaya. If you don't, you're not following the right message. You're not following the right way. That's the importance of Eid al-Ghadir. And then sometime we have to recite those ayah, read that ayah, read hadith about it, and then it's good to reflect on it in a little bit different way, like the Kulaini put it in that way. Sheikh al-Kulaini put it as it was coming down and it was a command. It was something delivered one after another. Those are commands that are coming on Muslim to must follow. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. أشهد أن عليا ولي الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على